All right. Easy to forget that politicians should be bullied into doing basic shit. Yeah, no, they have to be. There's no two ways about it. It's necessary. Yeah, I can do Pegasus boot runs with another item if I want. Oh, I can't do lasers off this? That's a shame. You do fight a lot of Darknuts in this dungeon. It's very cool. Not to reiterate myself too much, but they're such a cool enemy. There we go. And yes, Elon Musk is the most pathetic and divorced man alive. It is really funny that he couldn't be on the Twitter board of directors because he's literally too cringe. Like, imagine being rich but too cringe to do something. It's so embarrassing. Darkness for Breath of the Wild 2, please? Yes, absolutely. That would be very nice to experience. Like, Breath of the Wild's combat is not, like, immaculate or anything like that, but it really could use some sort of thing to, like, push it more as opposed to just the robots. Because, like an actual swordsman enemy of some sort with the AI depth that Breath of the Wild has at times could be so cool. Like, Breath of the Wild's problem in general is just a lack of anything. Like, every single problem, it comes from, I think, just being stretched too thin. Because, yeah, once you get into, like, wait, where was I going with this? But yeah, like Breath of the Wild has a lack of enemy types. It has a lack of reward types, but that's a Nintendo special, really. Not having anything to reward you with because they think the experience is good enough. But yeah, I think just making things on that scale hampered them, and the fact that it hampered them and it still turned out as good as it is pretty damn impressive. Breath of the Wild enemies feel like an elongated tutorial for guarding. I didn't really guard in Breath of the Wild. I used the perfect parry, or not perfect parry, the perfect dodge. I never did a single perfect parry in the entire game. I just dodged into slow motion, and that's how I won. I remember when I beat Breath of the Wild, I thought you had to do perfect parries to win. Because that was how I beat Ganon. Huh. There's really like a switch you could push onto that, but whatever. Nothing, okay. But then I found out you can just use the lightning attack to just wreck it. You don't have to put any real thought into it at all. Like if you don't have the lightning, I guess. But that's another thing that Breath of the Wild has, is that your reward for being thorough and doing stuff is just less content. It removes the boss rush and half the health of the final boss. It's kind of insane. Like, that's a terrible reward. Like, congratulations, because you did the content, you get less content. Good job. Man, these stutters are getting very constant. If Breath of the Wild has more variety, it's going to be Game of the Year. I feel like it pretty much has Game of the Year cornered for next year. Even having no idea what's going to be next year. Kingdom Hearts 4 might be next year for what we know. But when Nintendo works with an existing engine, things turn out great. Majora's Mask is great. Spirit Tracks is great. Like, when they get a chance to iterate, like, Mario Galaxy 2 is great. When they iterate on something, it turns out real special. And Breath of the Wild is the first time ever where they've worked on a game with the same engine and delayed it a bunch and just taken their time with it. That's never really happened before. Man, where is my laser at? Is it only projectiles that it reflects? That's a shame. I guess I could use arrows. I think it'll deflect them still, but... yeah, this is safe. Still no light arrows. Okay, whatever. Trying to be fancy here, but I should just do the thing you're supposed to do. Wait, red portal. Are they even getting blue one yet? I don't think I did. Removing the bosses. Yeah, it is question mark, question mark, question mark. Like, yeah, at the very least, like, really just the fact that you can't refight bosses is strange already, because they're the most refightable bosses in a Zelda game because you can actually hit them with normal attacks. Like, oh, that's weird. That's very bizarre, actually. I can't leave the remote bombs on the platform. It just falls right through. That's weird. I guess I can just self-destruct. No, it's gonna make me throw. This is... What a weird problem to have. Ah, just off. Well, there we go, I guess. I wonder what Aonoma means with Breath of the Wild 2 being the darkest in tone. I imagine it's not like... I imagine it's very like explicitly just bleakly dark. Like how Twilight Princess is pretty edgy. I don't think it's a matter of themes. Because Majora's Mask is not on the nose dark. Like, I've talked about this a bit in the past, but I think you can really clearly see that Nintendo doesn't really understand why people like Breath of the Wild, or not Breath of the Wild, Majora's Mask. Because when they remade it, well, when they remastered it for 3DS, they said, oh, the game can be a bit spooky. But like, the thing about Majora's Mask is not that it's kind of spooky. That's not the appeal. Like, it's not spooky watching a sister allow her younger sister to drink what's an analog for alcohol, have that while she's underage, because that'll help dull the pain of her inevitable death because the moon is falling down. Like, that's not, oh no, I walked into a spooky skeleton scary. That is just very bleak. The appeal of Majora's Mask is the sense of dread. Yeah, I wouldn't even say just that. I would say it's also just like, it's not just being dark. It's also a feeling of, like, it's got like a sense of hope to it. You see good elements of people shine through in bleak moments. You get stuff like the town guard will let Deku Link get through the barrier if the moon's about to fall because he wants him to be safe. And that's a very good, very human thing. And it's nice getting to see that, where it's like, yeah, when it comes down to it, when push comes to shove, there are people who will do good things. Like, nothing else to it. No ulterior motive, no dark, bleak commentary, just when it comes down to it, there are good people. And that's a big part of Majora's Mask. Alongside just people having to face just pure inevitable death. It's so cool. And also, Majora's Mask has things that are just cool without being anything bleak too. Like, Link does really cool flips when you jump across ledges. I don't know why they've never brought that back. That is like one of the coolest things ever in a Zelda game. They need to bring back cool flips. Put them in Breath of the Wild. You can jump in that game. Let me do cool flips. That cool flip is so cool, it is still Link's double jump animation in Smash Bros. The sword teacher cowering in fear messed you up as a kid? Yeah? Yeah, that's reasonable. Oh, I need a bunch of keys. Damn it. And yet, I bet that chest has a very high chance of being just a normal key, and somewhere else there is the big key. Oh yeah, no, how do I open those doors? I forget. Nope. I wonder what Koizumi could do with a modern Zelda game, honestly. No. All kinds of stuff, probably. Koizumi's the one who did Link's Awakening, right? Like, Zelda games in general touch on some very, like, somber themes in general. There is a lot of Zelda games in general that are about letting go of the past in some way. Like Wind Waker is a big one. Wind Waker has a massive thing about you gotta just move on. Gotta let things die sometimes. Koizumi wrote Link's Awakening and co-wrote Majora's Mask. That makes a lot of sense. That was weird. Was there one real one there? Woo! Key! Alright, so yeah, are those big doors just open now or what? There's one way to find out. Hope that his storytelling chops seep into the next Mario game somehow. I would pay a lot for a Mario, like a mainline Mario game with a fraction of the soul of a Paper Mario game. A real Paper Mario game, not those fake ones. Okay, it looks like just dark nuts have spawned everywhere is all. Yeah, time to do the 4 towers, as it were. I mean, I don't think Miyamoto has to die for a Nintendo game to have soul. It just has to get the attention of someone... someone who won't listen to him. Because the thing is, Miyamoto doesn't have all bad ideas either. He just tends to have very poor understanding of the story appeal of games. The emails in Thousand Year Door are still one of your favorite things in any Mario game? Huh. I don't think I've ever heard anyone ever say that. But I can get it. But yeah, like, just let let Miyamoto just go and stay in some other facility and write Pikmin shorts and make like a Mario game where you jump on blocks and that's the extent of it. And then let someone make a game with some soul. Okay, I think the Red Wall Masters are the ones that come back after a while. Or maybe not. It'd be nice if they don't. This is where the butterfly comes in. I do have all the butterflies, don't I? Hell yeah. Couldn't do that without a butterfly. Just add such a nice amount of characterization in a way that doesn't feel like too much or too little. Yeah, definitely. See Miyamoto away in the movie theme park dimension? I guess that would work. Wait a second. Hold on. Wait, I think that's a trap. Yeah, and I have to fall. Maybe. Don't want to fall down if I don't have to, though. If there's something obvious here I'm missing, I feel there's nothing else I can do. Origami King's the only one that uses its paper aesthetic for any benefit. I mean, honestly, even Sticker Star looks phenomenal. Like, it's a really incredible looking 3DS game, and definitely makes good use of the 3D for an aesthetic purpose. Hey, a compass. Yeah, it's just... Origami King is so clearly fighting for its life against its restrictions. They want to make something with more substance to it so bad. Huh, is that it? That is. Oh, that's a cool looking cloud. I love me some dark clouds with like a sunset highlight. Wish Origami King had everyone say origami like it's heavy rain. I mean, whenever they say the word, it's not voiced. You could interpret it that way. There's nothing stopping you. Literally nothing can stop you. So Zelda games nowadays are... Ooh, more Dark Knights, okay. Zelda games nowadays are moving away from the idea of these item limits they used to have, where it's like you can carry 10 bombs, but if you find a bomb bag, you can carry 30, and so on. And the thing is, I get it, because it doesn't actually serve any viable purpose whatsoever. It like if they need you to use an item, they just fill the pots with that item, because otherwise it's a pain. So it's a not meaningful mechanic in any way. But because of that, there's no real way to like have a worthwhile reward really in Breath of the Wild and stuff like that, because you've just destroyed the biggest possible one. I don't get this right. Oh well. Here we go. They should add voices exclusively for when they say origami. I mean, it could work. Nintendo has added voice acting for weirder reasons than before. This wouldn't be the weirdest. The weirdest will probably never be topped by the Game Boy Advance ports of the old Mario games, where they added just the cheapest voice lines they could find. like the Fry guy going, "I'm too hot to touch," and stuff like that. "This is as far as you go." Those lines are burned into my memory. Origami King is the first game you traded in a long time. I haven't traded the game in... how long? I think the last time I traded in games was when I tried to get a Wii U. And I traded... What did they... Because I regret trading in my games as a kid, but I had to afford new games. Now I don't really have to worry about that as much. Just what I needed. Yeah, that's another classic. all-time classics out there. Like, Nintendo was really excited that they could do voice clips in the 2000s, and then everyone made fun of Mario Sunshine, and they just never did it ever again until like just like this generation, basically. Lost a bunch of great games. Yeah, exactly. Like my GameCube collection. I mean, my GameCube collection is also in terrible condition because I had them as a kid. But I lost so many things because I traded them in for other stuff. I'm glad I still have my copy of like Melee, for example, even if it doesn't run very well. I feel bad only using this technique. There's a lot of ways to fight Dark Nuts, but this is just the safest. I say as I get hit. Well, this guy's good. So after he does the dash attack, I can actually try and get my roll and spin technique in there. There we go. Still haven't even gotten to the highest tier of Dark Knight, I don't think. Traded in Path of Radiance. Ooh, that's rough. I'm pretty sure there's some stuff that I traded in that's worth a lot now too, but I can't remember anything off the top of my head. If you had Path of Radiance and traded it, you would have cried. That's valid. That's a pretty devastating trade. Yeah, around the Wii era is when I started realizing that I can assess stuff that's going to become valuable. So like I have a copy of the Wii version of Xenoblade, for example. And like actually I had the opposite of this where something I went out of my way to get for my birthday, like a present to myself one year, is a copy of The Last Story. The Last Story skyrocketed in value shortly after. I paid about $50 for it, and now it's like a lot more last I checked. You had 10 and no clue. Well, yeah, no one could have predicted how expensive GameCube games would become. That was like the first massive inflation that Nintendo had. Yeah, there we go. There's the big key. Wait. So, I got the compass right. Hold on a second. Okay, there is one more chest. So it's probably still possible to get that one. Also, yeah, not even a single heart piece in here. So they are just out there somewhere, waiting to be found, but I'm not going to find them. Okay, I'm going straight to the boss. I think. The current trade games market needs to die. I don't even know what kind of values it's at right now. Like right now, the ads I get are trade in the PS4 and we'll let you cut the line to the front to get a PS5. Oh yeah, so this part's actually timed. If you take too long, damn, these things can really wreck your health. They're annoying to deal with. Yeah, but if you let the chimes run out here, then you do get a game over. So you have to actually beat it. I have to fight my instinct to get money. 3 dark nuts, including the black one. That's the highest tier. The darkest nut. Oh yeah, I don't think I should talk about this on stream, but there's a whole weird translation thing going on with dark nuts, where they're actually like dark knuckles, I believe, in Japanese, and there's a weird remnant of this where there's a mini boss in Ocarina of Time called the Iron Knuckle, and that's just supposed to be another type of this type of enemy. There's just supposed to be a bunch of knuckle type enemies, but almost all of them are called nuts in English. I really need to be careful. My fairies are only healing me for 4 hearts. I mean, it's a bit confusing, but only if you know the history. Because otherwise, you're just going to think, oh, it's an iron knuckle. No relation to the dark nut. Ocarina of Time's iron knuckle is basically a dark nut in function, isn't it? Yeah, because it's meant to be one. But it's the one time they translated it accurately. Alright, wish me luck, folks. Maybe the Mirror Shield will help me. I've never done the final boss with Mirror Shield because it's post-game. This is a rad design. I don't lose any official art of it, which is insane. But it's very Minish Cap. Or Minish Cap, Wind Waker, I mean. Of course it's Minish Cap. Oh yeah, this is actually the same attack that knocks you out in the cutscene at the start of the game. Alright, here we go. This is the finale. Yeah, I really like this final boss. Ah, damn it. Went way off screen for that one. I wonder if I could try and... Oh, there we go. Oh, right, I think... Maybe, if I remember right, I think you have to use the Gust Jar now. I think this boss uses pretty much almost every item type, which is really cool. Like, this is probably one of the best designed final bosses in any Zelda thing. Because like there's a lot of cool Zelda final bosses, but a lot of them are just sword fights, for example. The final boss of Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword are just sword fights. Oh wow, can you blow out the fires with the Gust Jar? That's so cool. Still learning new things about this game. Oh. No, come on! There we go. Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, the cutscenes haven't replayed in this, but they do reuse the Happy Mask Salesman's laugh for Vati, so that's what I associate it with. Even though I played both games pretty close together, it wasn't Minish Cap wasn't my first Zelda game, but it was like not long. It released not long after I got into it, so it was the first one I bought. But yeah, no, it is a different memory association for me than other people, I think. Skyward Sword's boss has bonus points. I'm not a huge fan of Skyward Sword's design. It's just Simon Says. I made a video about this a long time ago. Alright, now it's time to do various shenanigans as this screen fills up. All right. There we go. It's a good start. Damn. Didn't do as much damage as I had hoped. But yeah, considering that the guy who directed this went on to direct like Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword and stuff, I'm kind of shocked nothing really seems to have carried over from it. Because it's such a great, underrated game that gets no respect. Just flat out. It gets so little play from Nintendo despite being one of the best Zelda games. Because they didn't make it. It doesn't have any other staples. It doesn't have Koji Kondo. I'm sure Aonuma was involved, but like, it's a Capcom game. So of course it can't be treated as equal to a Zelda game that's made by Nintendo. They have a pedigree. Unlike Capcom, I guess, in this analogy I made up. Man, I've been really lucky. Sometimes it takes a full loop to find out where the eyes are. And sometimes this screen gets really filled up with lots of these purple spines. Although the spine swarm may be coming any minute now. Oh, the host just went off into nowhere. Hell yeah. 2 for 2, folks. It's a shame Vati didn't get into Hyrule Warriors because of the Tecmo Capcom thing. The thing is, Vati, like this form of Vati is Capcom, but Vati is from a Nintendo game. He's in Four Sword Adventures. So it doesn't have to be this way. And yeah, in the same way, that's probably why there's no four-sword weapon too. I think I mentioned this before, but man, talk about a waste not having a four-sword weapon in a Warriors game. That would have been the coolest shit. Like, it just explodes into just a resized default explosion. Yeah, I didn't even use a fairy. Nice. That was a good run. I mean, I do have almost full hearts, but, you know. I am kind of curious where those last 3 heart pieces are, but not that curious. A Four Swords weapon would make Warriors game go at 2 frames per second. I mean, that's fine, honestly, but I think they could make it work. Just make it so that the clones are lower polygon. I mean, for that matter, if they can have all these different people on screen at once already, they can have like 100 enemies on screen, and they can have multiple playable characters using their full movesets, and they have like Minda can summon a bunch of wolves, for example. So surely they could make it work. Does the rando come with a spoiler log? Can you check the heart pieces? Not as far as I know. If it's there, I don't know where it is. The documentation for this game is lacking, unfortunately. Or this Randomizer specifically, I mean, the documentation for this game is lacking too compared to other Zelda games, but you know. Alright. Forget what I do first here, actually. One of these days, those freezes are gonna... It's gonna actually get me killed. Such a great theme. Is it weak to the King of Apache? No. I know you use it in here somewhere, but I forget how this fight starts. Okay, use the moments here. Yeah. Oh, no, there we go. Okay. I don't know how I figured that out the first time. Oh, okay. Where's the one looking at me? Come on. Stop. Stop. There we go. Should I just use a great spin attack? Okay, that was close. Absolute banger? Absolutely. This game, full of bangers. Across the board. I am actually kind of baffled how I figured out to use the King Apache when I was a kid. Nope. Just wanted to roll. Being caught behind a big hitbox is not the best. Okay, now use the lantern. I think the only thing you don't use is the Rock's Cape, maybe? Ah, it's like charging at me right in time to negate my charge move. Alright, that's the arms. Now I think it's just 4-sword time, maybe? Could have sworn you used the mold mix, but maybe not. Ah, shoot. Ah, Gotta be fast. It's very tight timing here, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Yes! There we go. Oh yeah, that's true. Rock's Cake can be used to avoid the attacks. But that's not very necessary, I wouldn't say. You have to use the lantern. I could have sworn you had to use the mold mix, but I guess not. Alright. There's only one phase left. I really love the whole theming of Vaati where he does just give up everything for power. Like, it's something you see a lot in... Damn it! in a lot of stories, but it's so thorough here. Like, he really just abandons everything about him in order to become more powerful. Like, it's such a basic goal, but when you become an eyeball thing, that's when it really sticks. There we go. Last hit. Finally got the great spin attack in. Alright, that's that. Run complete. I assume the ending just plays as normal now. Oh! That works. Straight to credits. Twinkle obliterated. True. We nuked that twink so hard he became a ball. We inflated him and made him big and round. Oh, it's still stuttering even in the credits. Yeah, we get a nice remix of Cloud Tops too. First Astos, now Vaati. I mean, besides Ganondorf, are there, like, any non-twink Zelda villains? I guess Onyx maybe from Seasons, but he's in armor, so you don't know what he looks like underneath. Hatok loves slaying twinks? Yeah, I guess. Well, I wouldn't say no. But yeah, there's Onyx. Varan, I don't think that women can be twinks, but I don't know, I'm not an expert. Girahim, very obviously a twink. Demise, but he's still Ganon, so that doesn't really count. Not a whole lot of Zelda villains, are there? So yeah, there's Astos. Wait, Astos isn't from Zelda. What am I talking about? That's Stranger of Paradise. What am I thinking of? There's a Hyrule Warriors villain. Astor. There we go. No, that I think I can get away with being confused by that one. There's a twink in Hyrule Warriors named Astor, who I also defeated in a stream long ago. Skull Kid is a kid, so yeah, there's no statement to be made there. What else we got? There's some, like, inconsequential villain from Zelda 2, isn't there? And obviously, regular Ganon is a bear, not a twink. These are the important 11th hour questions you have to ask about Minish Cap and other Zelda-related things. I'd say Zant is a twink. That's basically it, isn't it? Well, yeah, what's his face from Link Between Worlds is absolutely a twink. What's this about KG Inafune? Why is one of the autocomplete pop-ups for The Legend of Zelda list of villains X-Reader? Google, what are you saying? Well, people look that stuff up all the time. Oh, wait, no, of course KG Inafune is a producer. He was... Yeah, Capcom, of course. That's not a surprise at all. It just turns out he doesn't do anything substantial. Hey, there's my completion list. Perfect, I can put this in my media thread. It's ideal. Yeah, so all I missed was a bottle, 3 heart pieces, a tiger scroll, and that's it. I even got the Tingle statue. And there's the dog food, but not the bottle. Oh, I'm glad this is here, though. Oh, they give me some stats. Nice. Defeated Vadi's Wrath at the 10-hour mark. Big Green Choo-Choo at the 3-hour mark. Big Blue Choo-Choo at the 2.5-hour mark. Gleerock at 5-hour mark. This is so... I love this. It's so out of order. Mazal. Who's Mazal? I don't know who Mazal is. And Big Octorok. Georg Pear. Matterpillar. Octorok. Choo-Choo. Lever. Oh, these are just regular enemies. Okay. Darknut, Beetle, Keese, Moldorm. Oh, and wow, Moldorm and Moldworm. That's not confusing at all. Slugula, Pesto, Puffstool, Like, Moblin, Wall and Floor Master, Spiked Beetle, Helmasaur, Bob-Omb, Tektite, Wizrobe, Armos. And so it goes. Smith Sword, White Sword. Wow, I'm glad they track all this stuff. This is nice. Oh, they don't track how many times I use the faster split gauge? That's a shame. Fake stats. Total time, 10 hours. I imagine you could go so much faster if you knew the game just slightly better than I do. Cutscene time, 45 minutes. Rolling time. I rolled for 23 minutes. I really should have been Pegasus booting. Don't know what a bonk is. 1 game over, 1 fair revival. Saved 6 times, so 6 sessions, basically. Quick warped 4 times. Could have used that more, probably. Look at all those rupees I wasted. Jeez. Well, that's that. Wait. Okay, there we go. Backing out. Good time, yeah. World record pace. Well, yeah, there we go. Minish Cap Randomizer complete. I'm going to swap this slot out for Kirby probably next week. And next Friday will be Final Fantasy. So, yeah, wow. Thanks everyone for tuning in. This was fun. I didn't plan to stick with it, but I did because it was just Minish Cap is just a really great game. So yeah, good time.